Hello students, this is K. M. Varaprasad, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, DBSIT, KAVALI. Today we are going to discuss the subject design thinking. In that design thinking, we are in Unit 2. In that Unit 2, we are going to discuss the topics like, now this is the lecture 1 of Unit 2 in design thinking. Now here the topics are introduction, principles, the process, innovation in design thinking, benefits of design thinking and innovation, case studies. Now, here initially we are starting with the introduction. Design thinking performed on logic, imagination, initiation, and systematic reasoning to explore the possibilities of what could be and to create desired outcomes that benefit the end user. Now, end users, some customers are there. For that customers or for those end users, now design thinking is performed benefit to the end user or customer or consumer by exploring some systematic reasoning, some logic is implemented, and then some imaginative things. Now coming to a design mindset is not problem focused. Now it is a solution focused. It is mainly focused on solution, not based on the problem, and action oriented. Now it is a solution focused as well as action oriented. Now coming to it involves both analysis and imagination. Analysis, it contains the analysis as well as some imaginative things are also available. Design thinking is linked to an improved future and seeks to build ideas up, unlike critical thinking which breaks them down. Now generally it is unlike critical thinking. Now it is purely based on the ideas, building the ideas. Now same kind of intonation, continuation. Design thinking informs human-centered innovation. Now it is purely based on human-centered innovation. It is not based on the machines. It is purely based on the human-centric approach. Human-centered innovation begins with developing an understanding of customers or users' unmet or unarticulated needs. Now, up to now, we are not facing or we are not met those needs. For those purposes, we are especially using the design concept, design thinking concept. Large corporations are using design thinking to evolve the way they innovate. Now, how we can innovate or how can evolve or how can we involve best ideas or something by using the design thinking. The focus of innovation has shifted from being engineering driven to the design driven. Now, the innovation is completely shifted from one is engineering driven to the design driven. Now initially the focus completely based on the engineering driven. Now it is design centric or design driven. From product centric to the customer centric. Now initially product centric is there. It is shifted to the product centric to the customer centric, and marketing focused to the user experience focus. Now initially markets come based on the markets, we are designing the products, etc. something. Now it is completely shifted to the user experience focused. User experience focused. Here that by using the design thinking or by applying the design thinking, the focus from engineering driven to the design driven and from product centric to the customer centric, and finally marketing focused to the user experience focused. Now these are the things which modified, which are used based on the design thinking by developing the design thinking concept. Now coming to the same thing, design thinking helps the innovator to gain greater clarity to find viable, feasible and desirable ideas. Now by using this one, we can easily, the designers can get the better ideas. Design thinking should force user centricity as central to innovators thinking. Now it is completely based on the user centricity or user center. In its most simple form, design thinking can be thought of as building the series of conversion that draw out the needs that eventually becomes the solution. Now it performs the building of needs and draw the some different types of needs which are available for the end users, etc. Now finally, design thinking is a system that uses the designer's sensibility and methods to match people's needs with what is technologically feasible and what is viable business can convert into the consumer value and market opportunity. This is the main thing here we are discussing. What is the purpose of design thinking here is, it is basically a system which is used by the designers. Now here designers sensibility is there, designers methods are there. Those can improve the people's needs by providing feasible as well viable business solutions. Now here is, it is completely adapted to the market opportunity also. Now coming to the second topic here is the principles. What are the principles we are using especially for the purpose of design thinking? With widespread digitalization, technology is no longer a driver of innovation. Now by using only technology, we are unable to develop the new things. Now innovation in the company, but a facilitator of innovation if calibrated to the real needs of people. Now the value that this brings to people is a real key. Now people are the key to the innovative purpose, not the machines or some machine based technology. Here we show the three different types of principles we are using here. Thinking, this is for the purpose of design thinking that led to the success of this methodology in innovative processes. Now coming to the problem solving attitude, human-centered design, and then iterative approach. These are the three principles we are using especially for the purpose of design thinking. Problem solving attitude, a user or customer or some person must need the problem solving attitude or thing. And then human centered, it is purely based on the human centered, not on the machine centered. Now coming to the iterative approach, it should be iterative. Now everything you perform better, you should use some iteration. Now first phase, second phase or third phase, some set of iterations are required to perform the things in a better way. Now coming to the first one here is, first principle is the problem solving attitude. The ultimate aim of the design thinking methodology is to intercept problems and develop the best solution for each of them. Now here we are getting what is the problem and then perform the best solution, get the best solution for that problem. That is the main motto of design thinking. With this approach, the context is observed and studied. What is the context of the problem, and it should be observed and studied. Problems are intercepted and possible solutions are drawn. Some problems are intercepted and then some possible solutions are prepared. These are then made in a prototype and tested with the user, then reviewed based on the feedback received. Now already those prototypes are prepared and given to the end user or some user. With this approach, we face problems of different magnitudes, even very complex ones. The focus remains on solving the problem. In this, a lot also plays a creative component and the involvement of the inexperienced people who as well see in the next pills manage to make a contribution that is not contaminated by the conformism of the sector experience. Now here you have to use the people which are having some experience of a particular sector. That is very important approach in problem solving attitude. Here if you involve the inexperienced people, that can give the negative results. Now this is about the problem solving attitude. Now coming to the human centered design, this is the key to the design thinking subject or design thinking process or etc. Here this is the most popular feature of design thinking. With a people-first approach, it is possible to intercept the real needs of the user, usually not visible to the management. Now here we are performing or we are giving real needs of the user in front of the management people. In an empathic way, we observe and analyze what is called the pains and gains of the user, that is his frustrations, but also his interests. Here in an empathic way, we are getting complete information from the user. Those are what the paints are available, how we are gaining from those people, etc. Now this bottom-up approach, which starts from the end user to study the best implementation for achieving the business objective. This bottom-up approach will provide the best business objectives, or it should be prepared the best business objectives, also brings with the strong user engagement value. Now already it will give the strong involvement with the end user. They feel valued, important. Now the user will feel some value. The people which we are providing or which we are giving project are giving some value to us, just like. And having participated directly in the solution design phase, the training phase for the adoption of the final solution will be easier. Now here directly we are involving the people in that design phase. From that we will easily get the better solutions and better people or better involvement is there. Now completely the design thinking approach, the principle of the design thinking is completely based on the human centered design approach. Now coming to the third one, iterative approach. Now here if you design, if you perform or something or anything, it should be in the sequential process. The principle of cyclic iteration sees the alteration of three main phases: inspiration, implementation, and ideation. Now these are the things, these should be iterated. For each phase, it is possible to identify divergent movements. For each phase, we are identifying the divergent movements and converging movements. The iterative feature allows you to review and refine the desired solution up to the optimal one. Now this is the thing here, iterative approach. Now initially we are providing or we are calculating some feasible solutions for that one. After calculating the feasible solutions, we will easily get the optimal solution iteratively. If you perform it is iteratively. Now coming to the things, here is some iteration is there, ideation is there, some implementation is there. Based on all these things we are performing. Now here is converging, some divergence is there, and then convergence is there. By using all the things, inspiration, ideation, and implementation, we are performing the principles which are occurred in the three different types of things. Now coming to the next one, here is next topic here is the process. What is the process in design thinking? Now coming to this one, it stands in service of creating positive outcomes for people. Then its value is through a series of activities to inspire the essential elements of creativity. Now, here what is actually the process here is the process which is used for everything or anything. It should be creative. It should be in the creative manner. To be able to take an abstract idea and create something which it is. Now, if you are taking initially some abstract idea we are taking and making it as concrete, it helps you to actualize your concepts. Now we are performing actual things by using the concepts and the results to drive increased adoption. Now we are performing increased adoption. We are adopting different types of new things or different types of new ideas, etc. And design the behavioral change and ease in ongoing use. In the future users or ongoing users, you can perform some easy things. So it becomes the tool to engage with people. Now the process becomes a tool which can be or which should be engaged with the people. Find the purpose that it is meaningful, and as a result, now we are finding it as a purposeful one. For the purpose of all the things, we get the results like should generate positive cash flow, value, meaning, and profits. Now, by using all the things, it can generate some cash, value, meaning, that is, and then a profit. Now, by using the process of design thinking, we'll get all the things like value, meaning, etc. Now coming to the here we are taking or we are using different types of or some phases we are taking, 5 phases we are taking here is those are empathize. The first one is the empathize. Now here the particular process designers or design thinkers should be in a mode, in a positive mode with the end users or the users. Now already we discussed about what is actually the design thinking here is. It is purely based on the people, not in the machines or computers or etc. It is purely based on the people. Now people who are involved in this design process or etc. Now we should be the design thinkers or design developers or designers should be empathize with the end users or users. Now comes to the second one is define your users' needs, their problem, and your insights. Now first of all, you have to define every need of the end user. What are their problems in a positive mode? You have to spend a lot of time with the end users, and after getting many things or many what are the benefits or what are the profits which are occurring, what are the problems they are facing from the existing systems or existing ideas or something, and what are the insights, what are your insight. No, what types of insights we are providing for those for problems which are facing the end users. Now coming to the third one, which is very important one, ideate. Here, after getting all the information from the end users, now we have to ideate. The designer have to ideate, perform some ideas by challenging assumptions and creating ideas for innovative solutions. Here, in this phase or in this process or in this phase, now it is a very important phase in this design thinking process. Here we have to create the innovative ideas. By using innovative ideas, by using innovative things, we are challenging those assumptions. Now, initially we are performing some assumptions. No, I am going to calculate this problem. I am going to calculate solution for this problem, etc. It is purely solution based. Now, for that solution based, we have to create different types of ideas or some things. Now, based on this one, this is the ideate is the main important thing in or important phase in this process of the design thinking. Now, coming to the prototype. Here, after getting what are the problems the users are facing or you are preparing some ideas based on the innovative solutions or solution based things, etc. From all the gatherings or from all the things, you have to create one prototype. That prototype should be given to the end user or given to the end user for some modifications or end user involvement. Now here is, it is purely user centric or customer centric or human being centric. Now here we have to involve all the users which are participated in the design process. Now some user can give some ideas or change this one or you can use this one or like that. Now by using all the things, we can provide some prototype. After providing prototype to the end user, from the end user side, you will get some ideas or something, some innovative ideas or something. You have to adopt or you have to use those ideas also in this process. Now that is about the prototype. And finally, all the things, all the prototypes should be tested for solutions. Now here is already initially we have prepared one prototype, we have prepared one idea. Based on that idea, we prepared one prototype, and then that prototype should be tested. It is very important phase of this one, final phase. Now here testing is performed rigorously from the management side, from the end user side, or different types of testing units are there. Those are also involved. Now here comes to the test for the solutions. Now it is important to note that the 5 phases, stages or modes are not always sequential. Now here always we are moving. It is not in the sequential way. Sometimes empathize is also comes under the third phase or third thing. Now you started with the definition also. Now these are all mixing. Now here is, these are the 5 phases we are using especially for the process, design thinking process. That is empathize, define, and then ideate, and then prototype, and finally testing for the solutions. Now here the process here is comes to this one. Now these are in the not similar level. You can involve anything in this. Now initially empathize is there. You should be empathize with, or you should be loyal or with the end users, etc. Now we are preparing some definitions of the problems which are from the getting from those people. Now then we are performing some ideas for those problems. Now these are also given to the end user for the modification or some set of changes required for those ideas, or involve the customer also in the ideation process. Now coming to the prototype. After that one, you have to prepare one prototype based on the empathize or based on the requirements from the end users, and then definitions, and then some ideas and innovative ideas taken from the management people, designers, and end users, etc. We are preparing some prototypes. Now in the prototype also the end users are involved. Now you can change the some prototype, or you can involve in this prototyping process, or etc. Now finally the testing phase are also performed. Now these are the phases used in the design thinking process. Now these phases can be changed. Now initially you start with emphasize here. Now we can also start with the define phase, or you can start with the some ideas phase. And this is here in this process, or in this design process, human-centered approach is very important. Human-centered approach and innovative thinking or innovative ideas are involved. Innovative process are mixed. Now all the things are mixed or involved for the purpose of the design thinking process. Now this is the first video in second unit. Now we completed 3 topics, just introduction, some principles, and then process. Thank you.